Welcome everybody. So today we're just gonna go through this Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is a new Assassin's Creed game coming out. They have the release trailer for today. No gameplay. Shocking because the game's apparently coming out in 6 months, somewhere in November, I think it was. And yeah, we're not getting any gameplay. So I don't know about you guys. I've lost a bit of hope in Ubisoft. The only reason why I'm attracted to this game because it's set in Japan, which is something we've been looking for. But I feel like they're not gonna live up to it because you know what? Whenever these games come out now, everything is compared to Ghost of Tsushima, so we know this ain't living up to it automatically. But it's so interesting to see what to kind of expect from the game that's coming up. So yeah, let's just jump into the trailer and kind of see here. Oh, there comes the assassin.
Who are you? Who do you serve?
To serve the shadows.
All I have ever known in my life. Our land. Our customs. My family.
Guess that's one of the main characters.
In the name of unification.
You are still a frog in a well who knows nothing of the sea.
Oh.
The ocean's filled with new ships, but they all come from the same river. Creed.
Oh, man. Oh, this guy. This is another. There's two main characters in this.
Power. Vengeance.
And he's working on the other side. I guess with kind of the Templars. Ubisoft does one thing. They make the cinematics look pretty good. Ain't gonna lie.
Will you continue down
They
that
know
river?
they know how to make these kind of trailers.
Or choose another path
Oh.
beyond what we see?
And we must look for it. Together.
Oh, never mind. They're teaming up.
We must learn to trust. Rebuild.
And follow the blade.
Hmm.
I said.
He's a powerhouse, isn't he?
Serve.
He's probably gonna come from behind. Yep.
We are the shadows.
Yes, that was.
That served the light.
There you have it. There you have it. So I did finish watching. There was another thing. It wasn't anything too big, but it was kind of like a breakdown. So kind of give us a little bit of a better idea. Yeah. So apparently the guy and the girl, the two protagonists in the show. The guy was a slave from Portugal. He comes here, serves his master, kind of trains to be a samurai. Apparently, historically, figure, but historical accurate is one thing. And Assassin's Creed, we know those don't exist, right? They're not gonna make anyone historically very accurate, right? So yeah, but that's what they're aiming for. They're saying is an historical figure based off a real person, but it is an Assassin's Creed game, so there's probably gonna be many changes as we would expect, right? I mean, the stories look interesting, but I just feel like every time I've played a game with two protagonist people, like they never turn out to be that great. You know, I feel like it lacks in the character development aspect and everything like that, right? I feel like if they were individual stories, maybe we'd be able to relate a little more. But when it comes to two people and switching between them, which looks like it's going to be the case in this game, it seems like it's going to be a bit more difficult. And I don't believe Ubisoft is going to pull this off. They haven't really been pulling off anything recently, if we're being honest here. Um, like I said, there's no gameplay again, so we don't know what we're getting into. The only good thing is, I feel like a lot of us who like the Japanese culture, the samurai type of stuff, it's gonna be here. Um, I mean, like the story might be okay. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Like Ubisoft has just generally let down their gamers. Like, look at the top comments here. It's so funny. Guys, like, the most heroic thing about this trailer is they left the comments open. The guy's like, remember, never pre-order. And they're like, pre-order now without a gameplay. Ubisoft never ceases to amaze me. Pricey isn't stealing if buying is not owning. Asking for pre-orders without gameplay is wild. Yeah, like the comments are wild, like everyone knows already. You know what they expect. Like that's the thing with Ubisoft nowadays. Even when they had Avatar coming out, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna buy this game and I'm not gonna play it, like maybe if it's on sale or something, but I heard it didn't do too well. So right now it's kind of on the back burner type of thing, right? Maybe if I have lots of things to play, so I'm not too worried, but maybe we might revisit it. But yeah, it's like Ubisoft just have let down their fans like by so much, right? Like the games are not that great, Like I thought Odyssey with taking on the Poseidon and Hades and all these kind of things, and then God of War, like it was like God of War, yeah. Odyssey and Valhalla were basically like a rip off of God of War, basically a poverty version of it, if you want to say, right? It was relatively disappointing with that sense of things, like, and they keep talking about historically accurate, like, yeah, I don't think we'd go historically accurate when you're throwing in Ragnarok and all that kind of stuff in here, my man. Like that's not how these things work. And gone are the days, of the old Assassin's Creed, and I feel like they're never gonna find their way back. It's like Ubisoft always does good sometimes when the game first comes out, at least in their old days. The first few Assassin's Creed were amazing. Prince of Persia, a couple other games they had in there, they were like really good. Far Cry and stuff like that. After that, they kind of just fell off. It just seems more like the name it's kind of selling. They just kind of throw everything together and kind of like, here you go, this is what we have, run with it. There's no innovation. There's nothing about progression. There's nothing about like getting better. Obviously people have provided them many feedbacks. They did take a little bit into consideration, I guess, when they got Mirage made, but even then, that didn't fulfill the thirst of the old school games. Assassin's Creed, for me, the peak it's always going to be the Ezio's, but like they just have not gone back to those kind of parts of the game, which is kind of disappointing. Yeah, so this is not a game that's gonna do well. I feel like the only way to get these guys to get their heads out of their asses is like just to boycott them. If no one actually buys the games, and they have such a bad thing in sales, they will then, that's when it looks like they'll like kind of be like, oh, we have to do something now. You know what I mean? So yeah, like that's the only thing I could think of. That's just they're not that great anymore. Lots of people know this already. Yeah, like I said, like I might give it a shot if I see it on sale, because like I want to still explore like the samurai kind of stuff. And it's like the worst time they made this too, because people have been asking for this for the longest time. They should have made this before Ghost of Tsushima came out, because like now they're gonna be in trouble. I remember someone said Ghost of Tsushima. People are saying Ghost of Tsushima is more Assassin's Creed than Assassin's Creed, which was pretty accurate, to be honest, pretty accurate. But yeah, that's going to be their benchmark, and they definitely are not going to live up to it. But yeah, well, I feel like they'll probably show us more for the game. I feel like we'll get some kind of gameplay, but more probably around July, August, maybe a little bit later on down the road. Oh, full gameplay reveal in June. Okay, so they are revealing the gameplay in June. So we'll probably have a longer upload gameplay kind of thing in June, but it's probably skipping through it, not watching too much of it. I just don't think there's gonna be anything there for it, you know. They've let down a lot of their fans here. But yeah, that's all there is to say. Let's hope something comes up of this, but no. Like my man says at the bottom here, remember, never pre-order. That's the most accurate thing you can have here. But anyways, thanks for guys watching and a little bit of my rant, but I'll see you guys later.